At X Living, we promise to bring guests that impact your lives, guests that we have a lot to learn from, because life is not easy. Life has a lot of challenges that hit us from left, right, and center, and you feel like giving up. But we thank God for the people that are willing to talk about their lives, people that are willing to impact our lives with their different stories and their personal stories. And the next guest is a guest that is going to leave your jaw dropping, a guest that has so much in him, he's achieved so much in life, yet he had so little growing up and all the things that are working against him, and yet he was able to achieve each and everything that he did. Once again, I have to thank you for supporting X Living, those that support X Living with phone calls, encouraging messages, and our incredible hosts at Meru Slopes giving us this lovely space. If you're in Meru, visiting Meru, this is the place to be. If you have different guests, you have conference, they have a conference, they have rooms, and they have this spacious parking that you can park your car and it's safe for the time that you're supposed to be here. Once again, thank you so much, my viewers. Thank you so much, my subscribers. Let's continue subscribing, let's continue liking, sharing as we get to grow together, live, laugh, and have a good time together. Family is the most important thing to X Living, and that's one of the things that we'll keep talking about and we'll keep growing together. Once again, I hope you're still believing in your dreams, and I still hope you're believing in your dreams and nothing is letting you shake, you know, and make you like feel like giving up on your dreams no matter what. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. As promised, yet another guest on X Living. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Thank you so much for believing in us and staying with us. Today I have one very inspirational guest, someone who also inspires me as a young person, someone who has achieved so much even in the public space, someone that I respect, and one we get to know. There's so much about him there in the public space. Today we get to know the truth out of his own lips. He gets to tell us how much he got to achieve so much in the society at a tender age, the challenges he's faced to get where he is today, and I'm hoping we'll get to learn a lot from him. Welcome, Mheshimiwa.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Hon.Julius, born and bred and raised at Kakanakene, just here a few meters from here. I'm currently one of the leaders in the leadership of the County Assembly of Meru.
Okay, we cannot really get into your childhood before talking about your political career, because I am sure most of us know you as a politician. So how did you get to that space? What inspired you to get to the public space and see that you can do this?
It's about the struggle from primary school. I'm one of the people I can say that I was not exposed at the area or at tender age, because where I was raised and the personality of the physique. What I mean is that I was very shy boy in primary school. I had all of our people's during adolescence, and that self-esteem was something that was not in me at that time. At the same time, my upbringing, you see, my mother was used to roast maize in Matano, and most of the time, so when coming out of school, I was very shy. I couldn't go and stay with my mother, having that mind that maybe most of our friends in school will maybe laugh at me. So at the same time, I was very short, and I am also short. So still the stature could limit me from being so outgoing, especially in terms of leadership. At the same time, my voice also was something that maybe I felt was not the right voice maybe during the interaction with other kids. So to me, in totality, I was not that person that I could face people maybe directions as a leader and so on. But class 8, I remember one teacher is the one who told me, don't mind how you look, because pimples will at one time disappear. So don't feel that shy. Your voice at particular point will also break, and maybe that's not something permanent. But later in high school, I was appointed games because I may say I'm more talented. I was more talented in football than leadership. So high school, I got an opportunity to be a leader. Games, I was sport captain. Later in university, where I was given a scholarship, I got an opportunity. Also, I had already developed that confidence, also to speak in front of people, and that confidence inspired me also to be in leadership and also influence, because leadership is a matter of influence, and I felt if I got an opportunity to influence, then I can have an opportunity also to better other people's life. So I was elected as a student leader in all the universities, in Methodist universities in Kenya. So I got an opportunity to sit in the Senate, and I was exposed so much now to all mentorship, to do with leadership. And later I came out of university where I applied for MCA. I didn't make the first attempt, and later I was elected as a MCA. The year, the elections after that was 2017, was also elected as a deputy speaker. And in summary, that's how I got to leadership, but all came out of the urge to influence and also out of hard work, because you can imagine that background. But later, and also I was not privileged child. I was in the background, which is also predisposed to poverty. So confidence itself was something that I didn't think at one time, at a particular time and speaking in front of people. But out of time, I was able to build that confidence, and also out of exposure that later years, I was able to get the leadership. And up to now, I don't think there is much difficult which I faced in childhood
when growing up. I think it's quite inspiring and actually unbelievable to even imagine you being shy and imagine being able to speak in the public space. It's also a nice thing that you brought up, the people struggling with adolescence, because it's something even teenagers are struggling with to a point that unfortunately people have been very exposed to social media. So there's what beauty is supposed to be. So they don't get that, just a stage that they're going through and they're going to overcome. So I think that's a very important point that you brought right there. You've also mentioned being confident and a teacher holding your hand through that. So I believe it's your take that society has really work to do on impacting these teenagers.
Yeah, that's for sure, because you see there is societal expectation. And most of the kids or even adolescents and the young people, they believe the set standard of what the society expects from them is the real thing, which is not so. Because there is how you are, there is how the society expects from you, and now the other contribution from others who maybe inspires you. They always remind you of the situations maybe which are not permanent. But if you don't have people who can hold up and inspire you, motivate you, and shape your life, then you may have difficulties at that time. Remember, it is our past that shapes our future. And that's the reason why I respect that one particular teacher who at that time saw the potential in me and reminded me all what I'm going through is temporal. There are so many teenagers who are there out there facing the same physical challenges. And remember, out of the exposure on social media platforms, there is what they see from the celebrity, and maybe this is how it's supposed to be. That how you see most of the things are cosmetic; they are not the natural them. And out of the pressure that they get from the social media and external factors, they ended up also getting what you call mental issues. So for me, teachers, parents, and even the leaders in the society prayer are key pivotal role in shaping the future of this generation. Otherwise, if they are left out to learn from the either mainstream media or social media, then they may not get to the right path. So to me, I feel they play a very key role in shaping the destiny of our young people.
So you've mentioned about your mom, and if anyone gets to Google you, they'll read about how your mom used to roast maize so that she can give the normal upkeep that you expect from the family. There's also the story on how you grew up in a place where you grew changa and stuff. So paint that childhood for us. How was that? Because if anyone hears about you living opposite three stairs, I believe at that time it's not what it is today.
Sure.
So paint your childhood to us. Let us take us through your childhood.
You see, I've not even gone through a quote of hardship that my mother went through because I normally say as a woman, she has gone and faced a lot. I'm born, in fact, I'm the only child in my family, and there is a reason for that because even people are asking my mother, why you are only one child? And they are buried and the potential. It's also a question I've always asked my mother. But for sure, she had a lot of reasons to why I'm the only child. And one is out of the experience that she went through. Also born out of wedlock. And my mother was born some few kilometers from the Meru town. But when, since she was born out of wedlock, she was left to stay with her grandmother. And the stepmother, uh, this is something that even my mother doesn't, most didn't want to share with anyone, including myself, because even the grandfather I came to later learn, the one that I used to know was my real grandpa, was not the one. And there are a lot of things that my mother didn't expose me on family issues. In fact, I've been raised in Makutano in a rented house, 10 by 10 house, where I used to stay with my mother, my dad in the same house. You know, our culture also doesn't allow maybe as a grown up boy to stay in the same room with their parents. But my mother used to go to work at night from Murega is just some few kilometers from Meru town all the way to Nari is almost more than 30 kilometers apart. And remember those days there is forest, there is wild animals, and she used to walk all the way from that to grandma who had already left where my mother was born. And during all that time, that didn't give her opportunity to go to the primary school or even high school. So she dropped out of school at a tender age that I think from what I hear and even the story my mother gives me, she went up to class 3, dropped out of school. So they met with my dad also who had dropped out of school. class 6 who comes from a different region from Gembe side. And they made makutano while all of them were answering. And that time I was born. So my mother struggled a lot. She never got the basic needs as a child, whether it is food, health care, and also education. And that my mother inspires me a lot because I remember one particular time while I was in high school, I was very stressed where I could get maybe a school fee. You see, I was under scholarship, but even that scholarship was not full scholarship. So there is a part of what parental obligation they could pay, but they couldn't raise. And one time my mother asked, if myself have been able to survive without education, why should you have to force yourself and get stressed for you to go? So for her, yes, education was important, but not everything. And this is out of what she had gone through and still managed even to raise me in the same environment, paying rent out of hosting place, able to give me food and even pay for a little school fee from primary school because my dad lost a dad out of nasopharyngeal cancer, and in fact dad died while we are all together with mom in the same house. So mom undergone a lot in nutshell. A lot that my mother went through in the childhood and maybe also during life in marriage. So I derive part of inspiration from her. Myself, I went through Gitoro Primary. I had no difficulties, to be honest, in primary school because my dad and mom could at that particular time raise my fee and also the basic. Though we had those other challenges, maybe paying the rent. You may think it was very small rent because you are paying between 400 and 600 at that time, but still there were some challenges, especially when my dad got sick, the burden of the sickness. So at that time, particular time, there was difficulty, maybe the rent, but food and basic in terms of education wasn't. But after class 8 is when I faced that challenges because we couldn't raise the amount for me to go to. Luckily, out of my talent, I was given a scholarship. And I remember that Sudanese who was in Kanga Boys came finding me because he knew me while in primary school, and he knew if I was left out, if I could be left, but then I couldn't get there that opportunity to go to the high school. But before that, I went to Nairobi because you remember after class 8, you go for circumcision, but still there was a challenge at that time, so I couldn't raise some sufficient amount of money to go on those processes. So I went to Nairobi to find a job so that I can go to raise that amount to get circumcised and so on. So a friend of mine had given me some books which I sold to a pastor. I remember that pastor was there. I see pastor, I saw the books. I got 360 bomb. Okay, so at that time I got the transport fare to Nairobi. I got a friend in Nairobi who was there. I did some few jobs here and there. I raised some amount of money. I came back, gave mom, and I was circumcised. I was able to get food to for that 1 month. And later, during that time, is when the coach Kandaro, a Sudanese who got a scholarship through Plan International, and came in from there I went to the high school, and later I was given another scholarship for university.
Yeah.
So that's basically
Yeah.
part of what
You've gone through.
yeah.
It's quite amazing, and it's so deep. I can also sense the emotion in you even when you talk about it. It's a long time for someone else, but for you, one can feel the emotion. It's as if it's happening right now. It's something that shows even when we talk about mental health. Let's say, for example, if you kept yourself in that surrounding and never got out of it, I'm only trying to imagine what would happen to you. And also, if you didn't get the willpower to fight whatever you went through, and say to yourself, it doesn't matter if that's my past, I'm going to make something out of it. And that's what I want to understand, and also my viewers, I'm sure, would love to know. How are you able to quit all this? I mean, how did you still have the willpower to still want to achieve everything that you have right now? And has it always been a dream of yours to be a leader, or is that something just came throughout your journey as you're going on your journey?
You see, there are lots I've gone through. But you see, my expectation was not, I had no higher expectations in life. So that one at least gave me the confidence, even the little achievements to me, I felt they are gains, because in the entire life, there is what I admire. Number one is just to have my own small house, whether rented or just a small house with a great TV and sofa set and maybe what you call wall unit.
Yeah.
So to me, with that, I was very comfortable.
You made it in life.
Exactly. So these others were bonus, because to be honest, even after Form 4, still I didn't have any hope for going to the university. And I remember I went to Nairobi. I got employed in the supermarket Jawaka in Kasarani. Then I was at that time Jawaka supermarket collapsed, and we were left jobless. I was hosted by a girl. I really appreciate that girl. I remember that those days also.
A girlfriend, maybe?
Not
just a friend.
Just a friend. I was chased out of the house where I was hosted. I got a friend where I was hosted. Those days I was very holier than thou. And then let me say that. So you can imagine we're in the same house, small house, single house, but still there is what this girl expected out of me, which I couldn't see the reason, because on that side, let me say, I was born again. So I couldn't raise the expectation.
Yeah.
So finally, after 2 weeks, she demanded me to get out of her house.
Kicked out,
So I was kicked out. You can imagine at that time I was jobless. So I went back to Meru, and remember I went there to Aswa.
Yeah.
I still remember I had passed my KCSE, but I missed with one single mark to join the public university. I had a big brain and they needed a big brass. That was the cut point of, I think, 67. I had 66 points. So you can imagine how life was to me at that time was very unfair. And this girl also. So I couldn't. I went back to when I was given a job at Kenoru Days in the school, and also I was a deputy teacher as an trained teacher. There is a lot which happened also while I was teaching there. But one single thing that I am happy, we got a result for the first time. Got a student who got a B. At the day school, that was the first exams. So to me, I felt fulfilling having taught as a UT trained teacher and able to inspire others and who made So there are lots in between what happens, but altogether, the expectation is what. See, most of the young people, even at the current times, they set a lot of standard and expectation which they are unable to achieve, and this brings a lot of mental issues. To me, the expectations were very low, which at every point I was unable uh, to do beyond what the standard or expectation that I had in life. So I, later in life, I was able to achieve all those expectations that I had in childhood, even the TV. I got the screen to the maximum size, even the sofa set. All those things that to me were the things that maybe if I could have achieved, then I was very comfortable. So that what to me I can say I was able to manage my mental issues, and I never felt. Also, another thing that is comparing yourself with others. I was born alone, and I couldn't have maybe somebody to compare myself with, saying that maybe I would wish to be like somebody and so on. So that also is something that enabled me to manage my personal issues. And having the background from seeing from what my mother went through, then I felt I had more comfortable life than him. So to me, I had not that much pressure. In fact, in terms of the stresses now that I face a lot of challenges than before.
So, politically, um, of course, we'll hear about your achievements, and maybe they will downplay the emotion that the person goes through. Bring us into how did you feel when you won, and like you've really won and you're the elected MC and all that? What was going through your head? And even before, while the elections were going on, what were the emotions that you were going through? Did you like, unajua, umejipiga kifua, I'm doing this, lazima, were you sure you're going to win, or is it something that came by surprise? You were like, hiya, I've done this.
No, it wasn't completely a surprise because I had done my research and I knew the probable outcome. So to me, it wasn't like maybe it was a surprise. No, not at all. In fact, I've lost many times and I've also won in some instances, whether it is in other leadership capacity like in campus, where I won when they were expecting that I couldn't win against those who were able. Having a background maybe which I could not be able to sustain even my life in campus because I was given a scholarship, yes, but those other things I was to take care of myself. So that means also I had a lot of difficulties. So to me, winning in the elected position at all wasn't a surprise. At the same time, I felt nothing to say emotionally. Would say uh, as if there was something big in terms of the achievement. No. So to me, I felt that this is an opportunity to serve people, and what was my greatest challenge is the transformation that I would bring, especially to the young people, and maybe give others a platform to achieve a better than what maybe I've achieved. And that's the reason why basically I decided not to vie for an MCA seat so that I can give others opportunity to serve also and to grow their career. So it wasn't a big surprise. Yeah.
And in your own ways and in your own thinking, do you feel like you did justice to your people, like the ones who elected you? Do you feel you did what you could and you achieved what you could?
Completely. And I have no any regret.
Yeah.
because I did almost achieve everything that I had promised. I go to my social media, Facebook, I had already stipulated what I wanted as my blueprint to achieve. And that's basically the reason why I felt, why should I go to the same position while I've achieved what maybe I felt was necessary for them, because it was about the kiosk which we are able to do, which I promised them we could do a modern kiosk, the Makutano market, the road opening, which we did, and establishment of some ECD classes which we did, empowering of the young people, digital trainings which we did, even these artists, we gave them platforms, business incubation. There are so many things that I already promised them, which I felt that I achieved and I did. Maybe not to the satisfaction, but to the best of what I could. And I felt one way of empowering others is giving them that opportunity. Why should I compete with the other young people? And we feel that leadership is about influence and mentoring those others. So to me, I felt then them come and do much better. However, the expectation maybe from the community was different. Maybe they felt that I would stay longer to serve them as an MCA, which maybe at that lot of maybe school of thought, maybe I failed them because I felt maybe I could have enough more time to serve them before I went to the next position, to vie for the next position. So to them they felt disappointed, but not majority. A few of them, of which also they are entitled to that opinion.
Yeah, true. So they say politics is a dirty game. How how is it that for you politics didn't really change you? You remain humbled, and are you of the same opinion that politics is a dirty game, or can someone remain clean? Nani vile umeingia, you can remain evil up to, you know.
No, politics is not dirty,
Mhm.
but it's people who are in politics who make it dirty. Because politics is a platform that, when used positively, can influence a lot and can bring so much changes, environmental wise, even economic wise, and in fact is a tool that can transform the community from poverty to wealth creation if positively utilized by the leadership, the political leadership, because it is out of politics that we will see development. It's out of political decisions that a child will get an opportunity to go to a school, an opportunity to get medicine when he or she is sick, an opportunity for the young person to get an employment. So how can politics be that? So it is out of people who are elected and who get power. The power corrupts them. And remember, power can absolutely corrupt a person. And that's the reason why I may say it is us who makes it dirty. But politics by itself is not dirty. If you read what you call politics of Jesus Christ for those who confess Christianity, you see there are a lot of also politics that have been there even in the history, church history. So we may not conclude that politics is dirty at all, and it is upon us readers who are elected to make it, to bring clean politics and shape the society to the standard that we would expect and also the community expect from us. But I normally say it is not also the leadership alone, but also the community, because it is the voters who elect those political leaders. So the reflection, the political leaders are the reflection of the voters. So if the voters are corrupt, then the leaders, we don't expect something different. So if the voters also are bad, then the leaders will be the sum of that, because they are out of the voters are the one who determines the type and the character of this leadership that they put in those positions. So to me, politics is not that, but has been that.
So
Like saying money is dirty. So money can never be
yeah,
because it is the money that will help us buy
everything that
this
we
and
need.
everything.
Yeah.
So you cannot say that money is dirty, but it is us who make that money becomes dirty.
True. Yeah. So, Mheshimiwa as the family man, who is Mheshimiwa there at home, wife, kids? Tell us more about that. How many kids do you have? Paint Murega as a
In our
dad.
African culture, we don't count kids because let me say,